Welcome to another edition of Banter and Babble. I am the Dude79, and joining me always, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Fanboytone. Mr. Fanboytone, how are you doing this evening, sir?
Good.
I know you're in a good mood today.
I've had a great day.
I think everybody has had a pretty good day today.
I'd say so.
I mean, I'm in good spirits. I'm doing a show with my buddy. We have some drinks in front of us. It's been an eventful day. You took today off. I was working today, and yeah, man, it was a very eventful day.
Now, without his fun, I had to, see a doctor. Pretty normal shit so far, but I'm sure the fingering is coming soon.
Your herpes is acting up again.
My what?
Herpes.
What's that mean?
Herpes. I didn't want
he said it in French. Sorry. I
was trying to go. Yeah, wow. I was trying to sound like elegant with it and all that shit. I know that's how I roll, man. Yeah, man. Well, what's good? What's good with you, man? Like, I mean, yeah, you went to the doctor's today, but what's good? I mean, what's good?
Well, there was an inauguration today.
There was.
That was pretty fun. I got up early for that. I drank half a bottle of wine last night. I was lucky to
I'm
get up.
Just lucky to even have you here.
Right. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was one of those big ones too, like a 40, 60 some. It was a massive wine bottle, and I tackled.
Oh, you're talking about a bottle. I thought you were talking about me.
Oh. It makes me uncomfortable.
That's really weird.
Don't do that live. I told you not to. But no, it was a good day. I got up, watched the inauguration stuff. There was some great acts involved. If you don't know this, I love Lady Gaga.
I know this.
I'm a huge fan. And I thought she knocked out of the park with the anthem. It's pretty awesome. So it was nice to experience that, and then go talk to my doctor about getting fingered soon and things like that. So afterwards,
oh no, you got to do that soon.
I think it's coming up.
Oh jeez,
there's a lot of wink, wink, and nudging, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my Lanta.
And it's weird because I was at the dentist, so I didn't.
You just fell for it.
Yeah. Right.
You're a sucker. J Dig, what's going on? Primus, good evening. El Blanco, what's going on?
What up, y'all?
Ark and Wrath, Jay Hill's in the chat. A6 Piece Nug is in there. Tricky Regent's in there. We got the whole crew.
Yeah, there's a lot of the crew.
People are starting to file in, and we're excited, man. We got a really, really good show. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight.
A lot of stuff to talk about.
A lot of stuff. We've got a movie review.
Yep.
We've got to talk about 3 shows that premiered this week or last week, and we've got 2 trailer reactions.
Woo!
We got a couple trailers that were brought to our time. Obviously, the big one is obviously the next Nicolas Cage movie is out next month. We'll talk about that. But another one kind of got dropped on us. Jay Hill actually sent it to me yesterday, and then Prime threw it in our chat today as well. And we watched this trailer, and we're like, dude, that looks pretty dope.
Really dope.
Looks really, really interesting. So we'll talk about a couple of movies that we saw some trailers this week. But Tom, before we get into that, what are we drinking tonight?
Well, right now we're starting off with the Wild Sour. Let me try that again. The Wild Sour series. Key lime pie goes. Some people say goose.
I'm gonna go with goose because it sounds cool.
I don't know how to pronounce the shit. I can barely fucking read. I don't even speak French. But it's a key lime goose ale. Very tart.
Very
got
tart.
that sea salt right at the beginning too. The colander, lactose. So far, let's take another little sippy.
Whew. Man, I mean that is tart,
but that's a good tart.
It's a good flavor. But it's very bougie.
Yeah,
it's very bougie. Promise.
Oh, is it? Is it? Did you see the MK pics? Yes, we definitely did. And
did we post that up on Facebook?
I think
pics?
we got it up on Facebook. Yeah, the pics look awesome. We probably should have broke that down too, but just check the Facebook post up. There you go. Boom.
Yeah, there you go.
Talked about it briefly.
It's an off-show topic.
Yeah. It could have been a full show.
Basically, Tone was fucking lazy and forgot to tell me about it, so that's why it's not going to be.
I was trying to add in all kinds of stuff this week. You wouldn't even let me talk about the toilet paper I was using.
I'm like, we can't talk about that on Twitch,
we
bro.
Can totally talk about it if you just kind of like move some words around and make it less suggestive.
Yeah, some wordplay. Okay,
I'm just saying.
Okay, well, maybe
if you can say herpes.
I said airpays.
Whatever.
Airpays.
Oh,
you can't be so hard with the H. It's airpays.
Look, the preparation H.
There you go. Yeah, just like that. Exactly like that.
Awesome. And then so we got the second one too. We're doing a mix because it's getting to the point where it's hard to find 6-packs of stuff, and we drink a little bit more than we probably should.
Yeah, we're alcoholics.
Okay, whatever. So I brought 2 4-packs. This one is Rogue Brewery. It's a chocolate nitro stout. I don't like saying chocolate stout nitro. I like to say chocolate nitro stout. It's thin. It's light. A little disappointing. We had one before the show.
Yeah.
Wanted a little bit more chocolate out of it, and we didn't. So here we are. So we got something super, super sour.
Right. It's something that's not chocolate. That's supposed to be.
But it's got, hey, you know what? Look, there's alcohol content in it.
5%, so we're going to get shit-faced, so that's cool.
All that fucking matters. And the Bartles and James were out. So
by the time we're drunk, we'll be talking about WandaVision, so that should be perfect. Trying to explain what's going on there as we're drunk. That'll be perfect.
That'll be perfect, absolutely.
Another thing, tonight we are running a giveaway.
Are we?
We are giving away a $20 gift card to the platform of your choice, whether it's PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo's eShop. And that will actually go live right... I think this is right. I hope I don't fuck this up.
Did you test it?
I did.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. But here we go. The giveaway is now live, and I didn't mean to close that. There we go. And ! Enter if you would like to get into the drawing for a $20 gift card to the platform of your choice. We'll hook you up after the show. As always, if your name is drawn, you have to be here to claim it. If not, it will be given away to another draw or another person another minute or so later. So, ! Enter if you would like to enter for a chance to win a $20 PSN, Xbox Live, or eShop card. You'll let us know when you win, and we will get it to you directly.
And if you don't need any of those monetary cards, one of us can send one of our undies.
Yeah. And not after what I did the other night.
Not after.
So, again, a couple years ago, before we get to the first topic, I'm going to tell the story. A couple years ago, I made the mistake.
I know the topic.
Of mashing a huge bag of sugar-free gummies.
Yeah.
Okay, sugar-free gummies. And it was seriously one of the worst experiences of my life. It was really bad.
Why?
Well, what that does, essentially, is it drops a small nuclear warhead into your digestive system.
Does it?
And turns your insides into liquid shit. And your body, it's like your digestive system is just working overtime for like the next 8 or 12 hours. It's like we're gonna clean you out completely.
Colon cleanse.
It was an absolute, just no pun intended, shit show. It was really bad. Up all night, didn't sleep for worth a damn, and it was really, really awful. And so for my son's birthday this past weekend, my wife went out and bought him some treats, and she grabbed him some jelly beans. And, he tried to eat a few, and he's like, I don't like these. And I should have taken that as a fucking clue. I should have taken that as a red flag. Like, who doesn't like jelly beans?
Right.
And so I was like, well, fine, I'll take it. So I took them, and I came down here, and I was playing Destiny 2 with Piccolo and Springsdorf, and I just decided to start mashing this bag of jelly beans. And then I looked at the jelly beans, and I noticed in faint green print.
Faint green?
It said sugar-free jelly beans. I was like, well, I mean, this is not the same as gummies. I mean, they're not going to do the same thing that they do with gummies. They do. And, I had a horrible night on Sunday night. Of course, I do this on Sunday night before a work day.
Right.
And, no sleep. Spent after 10 minutes in the bedroom, being a little flatulent, I'll use that word, my wife was like, can you go sleep in the spare bedroom? Because it smells horrific in here. I was like, okay, well then, had to go sleep in the other bedroom. Was in the bathroom for the first 4 hours of the night. Slept for 4 hours total. It was fucking sweet.
5 a.m. early in the morning, he's scooting in the front yard in the snow like a dog.
Yeah, it was horrific. It was another bad experience.
Oh my god!
I just again, always look for sugarless or sugar-free somewhere on the package. If you do that, you'll be in good shape. If you just start mashing anything like a fat guy like me, that's a problem, dude. I see candy, I'm like, ugh. It's like shoot first, ask questions later, or in this case, it's shit first and shit later and nonstop. So it was really, really bad. So yeah, not that anybody out there gives a shit about my digestive problems when I eat sugarless stuff. I thought I would share that with you just as a precaution to let you know. Check that bag. Make sure it's not sugar free, because you'll be fucked if it is.
And if you want those undies as part of the giveaway. Just give us a holler in the chat or DM
undies
us.
Or even the sheets, you can have those too. It was a pretty bad night.
Right.
Anyways,
yes.
The giveaway is underway. ! Enter to enter in an hour. It'll drop a name. You're here, you claim it, you get the prize. We'll hook you up after the show.
Absolutely.
Moving on to our first topic. Oh, you know what? We got to talk about what we've been playing. See, we haven't talked about video games in a while.
Oh.
First things first, I'm going to hit you up first.
Right.
What have you been playing?
You know what I've been playing.
Cyberpunk.
Yep. The end.
It's a shit game. Awesome.
It doesn't crash on me, and I can't stop playing it. I'll do
shit game.
a few levels or a few
consoles.
missions, and I can't stop playing. I can't stop playing it.
I know you're gonna die on that hill.
But you got me to play something recently.
I did.
So what have you been playing?
Look, dude,
Dude79.
There was a game that came out last gen, Scott Pilgrim, or on PS3, 360 era, and it never made its way to the PS4 era. Never got to play it there.
Why is the great? Oh, it was licensing issue, wasn't it?
It was that. It was a bunch of bullshit. It was a bunch of
whatever.
bullshit.
Here we are.
And so Scott Pilgrim came out this week, and we're like, oh, dude, this has got online co-op with up to 4 people. Let's fucking do Scott Pilgrim. Let's do a stream. And we were like, yeah, man, let's go do some Scott Pilgrim. Let's do it. I mean, this is a 10-year-old game, and they're bringing it on PS5 and Xbox Series X and Switch and everything, and everyone's like, yeah, let's go play. That's sweet. So we play it, and mind you, this is not an easy game. Scott Pilgrim is not an easy game.
No, it's not.
It's a difficult game. It's a very difficult brawler.
It's definitely for maybe some of you old school gamers out there. It's one of those kind of games,
right?
A little bit from the old coin-op era feel.
Yeah.
It's basically Rivers of Ransom, which is fine and great.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, great.
So you and I are playing it, and we're having a good time with it. We had a couple little issues here and there throughout. I mean, there was one door that you went through that I couldn't go through, and it was a whiteout on my screen.
Yeah,
so,
that was definitely that.
Some small glitches here and there. And, we're powering through the game. These boss battles are intense. We're dying all the time and have to go in, rethink how we're going to approach it. And, we're making progress. And finally we get to the third boss, and this one is a hell of a fight. Like, it's a tough battle. We're struggling. And finally,
it's the third boyfriend, the vegan.
We figure out exactly what we're going to do. Like, all right, we know how to approach this. We know how to dodge his attack. We know what we need to do. We're on the cusp of knocking out this boss, and this happens.
Oh, we knocked out the boss.
I'm going to super this prick.
Did.
Yeah! Oh, no.
Oh. No way. That's not real. That's not real. Is that real? Is that real? Oh. I just went, my fucking game just crashed.
Tone, will you do me a favor and close out my stream for me, please?
Hey, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping in for the Dude79 Light Rage stream that's about to go Super Saiyan after he logs off.
Furious. I was fucking angry.
Yeah.
I was really, really, really fucking angry with that.
Not a good time.
And it's just I went on to social media and I looked on a couple forums, and this game does have a fair set of bugs right now, and it's a beautiful looking game. Okay, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful looking game. The
Absolutely.
soundtrack is fucking awesome in that game.
Yeah.
It's renowned for its soundtrack, and rightfully so. It's got some awesome beats. And when that happened, dude, I haven't gone back to that game since, because all it takes is one shit ass experience, one really bad thing to happen, and I'll just be like, I'm done here. I'm done here. Now, eventually I would like to get back to it, but man, it's a fun game, but that was seriously disappointing when that crashed like that. Like, it was really disappointing.
And thank you, by the way, Tricky. That death before that, remember, I was like a pube hair away from beating that and finishing that out. Like, I was, and I don't remember how I died on it, but it was like this close to beating it, and it maybe would have circumvented that, because it was it Friday night? No, it was Thursday night.
No, it was Thursday night. Yep,
Thursday night. Yeah, we were having a good time, and
dude, I was so fucking mad. I was
haven't
so
touched
mad
it
because
since
because it was so much fun. We were having a good time. We'd gotten past a couple of the glitches, and there were some smaller issues, but we were like, you know what? For the most part, this is it's challenging. But we're like, okay, we're figuring out how these bosses play. We're figuring out their move set. We're working together in tandem. We're clearing out ads around everyone, and then we do our damage on the boss. And then that happened, dude. And I haven't gone back to that game since, because I was just crushed. Because we were getting our ass kicked by that guy for a couple of rounds. We kept going like, how the fuck? Because it's the battle with the two girls prior to that, where we were losing some lives.
If you're not on point on that,
So finally we get through on a good run against them. Like, all right, we're going here with all of our lives. We're good to go. And we're battling, and then the game fucking freezes up. And I'm like, are you serious, dude? Frustrated. I was enraged. It was disappointing, but hopefully we can get back to it. But thankfully, there was another game that dropped this week. Dropped today.
Man,
I was able to get some time with it, and that is Hitman 3.
There's been some buzz over the last week when the reviews started coming out.
Oh, dude, the reviews
people started talking, and then I started seeing some of the because I feel like this was everybody knew it was coming out.
Yep.
But nobody's talking about it because the last two, there's a small sect of people that enjoy them.
Yeah.
But there was controversy when the first one released because it was all season pass bait. It wasn't a full game.
Mm-hmm.
People were mad. It was chunks. So a lot of people just didn't even want to bother with it.
Right.
But there are people out there that played it that I personally know that are like, no, dude, this is really good. The game's really good, but no one cares. And clearly for me, I
feel like Hitman kind of falls into that Deus Ex category of games. I don't want to say it's niche because that's like Persona. I don't even say Persona, but there are certain games that are niche games. And I feel like Hitman isn't quite it's a well-known game. A lot of people know Hitman.
It's an old series. Yeah,
a lot of people know Hitman, but I don't think Hitman's ever been like that. I'm going to buy a system for fucking Hitman.
It's an iconic character. People recognize
Agent 47. He's been around for a long time. Absolutely. But at the same time, it's just like, I feel like there's other people that are like, I'm going to buy this game instead, though. I'm going to buy this game. It always comes out at a time when there's a bunch of games. Now is a good time for Hitman 3 because these consoles are still fresh. Mm-hmm. There's not a whole lot of games showing off what these consoles can do yet, with the exception to the launch stuff. We had the launch games, and then it kind of dies out for a little bit. And then it's supposed to pick up again in March. And obviously with COVID, things are getting pushed back
way
a lot.
Out, yeah.
Other than this month, other than Hitman, there's only the Medium that comes out for Xbox next week, which I'm pumped about. That looks dope.
About that.
Medium comes out next week. But then there's also a couple other games, smaller titles that I'm pumped about. Cyber Shadow from Yacht Club Games. They have Shovel Knight fame.
Yeah, Shovel Knight.
They're obviously very good. Cyber Shadow, and then Disjunction, which comes out a couple days after that, which is an action RPG stealth game. It's like a top-down pixelated look. It's got that old school look to it. It looks really cool. I'm really excited for Disjunction and Cyber Shadow. But what makes this so unique for Hitman 3 is they're in a spot where they basically have it all to themselves. And with the Medium being a part of Game Pass, people don't have to pay for that. A majority of Xbox people aren't going to pay for it because they already got Game Pass.
Right.
That leaves money available for a lot of people. They're like, hey man, Hitman 3 is reviewing incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
It's sitting at an 88 on Metacritic right now, which is really, really high for a Hitman game. Really high. And there's a lot of buzz around it. And the plus side of it is if you were somebody that bought Hitman 1 and Hitman 2.
This is brilliant.
And if you have the season passes for those games, you can load all the maps, all the missions from those two games all under one roof and play them all under Hitman 3.
It's like having 3 games in bundle.
You have everything available to you. All the missions, the mastery levels, everything, the challenges, everything from every level in the previous 2 games, as long as you own them, will be available to you right here in Hitman 3, which is fucking awesome. That is really cool. You have, I think there's a total of 20 maps now. But the thing is, with Hitman games, there's only 20. You think only 20 maps, which is still a lot because it's 3 games. But there's so many different ways to take out your targets in this game. These levels are huge, elaborate puzzles. They're huge, elaborate puzzles. And I played a little bit on the PlayStation 5 today. Game runs smooth. It looks great. I was playing some of the older maps, some of the older missions, like the Paris mission specifically, because that was one of the more demanding ones. Silky smooth, looks great, runs great.
Great loading times.
It's snappy loads. You're getting the benefits of your next-gen console. Now, the only issue that Hitman's having right now is the servers are getting completely bogged down, and it's a live service game. Meaning, if you're trying to go through, for example, I was going through the Paris mission, and I completed an objective, and it was going to save the game, and it said, servers offline, can't save your game. And I was like, well, that's not a big deal. I'll just play offline, because it gives the option, play offline. But when I click on it, it says, are you sure you want to continue? Because your score won't be saved and whatever. I'm just like, oh, come on, dude. So you really can't do anything unless the servers are up. Now, obviously, Hitman 1 and Hitman 2, those games ran really good over the course of this. Obviously, they had issues at launch, but they have proven that once they get things ironed out, it works good. It works fine. But, man, at launch, that's always the hardest thing with a live service. And, everyone's always like, well, how do you not anticipate, how many people are going to be on? Look. This is going to be an issue forever.
Mm-hmm.
There's always, for these live service games, there's
MMOs,
always going to be
everything.
There's always going to be server issues.
Yeah.
When I hear people say oh, I want this game to run perfectly, I don't want it to be a cyberpunk, or I want the online service to be on at all times, it's just not going to happen with the games of these scope and this ambition. There's a lot going on with Hitman. But it is unfortunate. So I wasn't able to play too much of it today, but what I was able to play, I went through and completed everything on the first section, which is the training section. You get to go through a couple of different scenarios. I knocked out all of that stuff, mastered the hell out of it, so I'm good there. Started the Paris one, and that's when the servers went down, but I wasn't able to like really play anything. But overall, like early on impressions, this is very early. The game looks and runs great, and if you own the previous Hitman games, you get everything under one roof. And the plus, another thing that's beautiful about it is, I think if you were to have all 3 games loaded separate or individually, it would be over 100 gigs. But they optimized everything now. I have all 3 games, 60 gigs total.
Nice.
Which is not bad at all, especially with these systems, you know, the limited space that you have on them.
Limited indeed.
60 gigs is pretty good, dude, for everything. So I was pretty hyped about that. So I mean, it's a cool game so far. I like what I played. Once the servers are working, hopefully we can spend some more time with it and really get into it.
I want to play it.
I know you do.
And I'm not going to have any time because I'm in Cyberpunk. But, you know, this takes me back and kind of makes me think, like, if these scores are coming like this and they're getting hit with those servers, it's going to be maybe like another 2014 when Dying Light came out in, like, February, January area and, like, end up being highly rated and still great. And now maybe this is going to, you know, kind of give some focus on Hitman, which never really probably got that kind of focus because, like you said, there's no like you've got a current gen system or really anything right now. There isn't any games out there right now, so you know this is a good time to pick up something if you're looking for something to play. Right.
Yeah, and you know with the live service issues, that's a bummer. And you know, but when everyone reviewed this game, obviously everything wasn't, you know, it didn't have everyone trying to play the game. The reviewers had access to it, so they probably get a smoother, sweeter version of the game. It's running good. But now when you get everyone loading in, the servers are getting swamped. So give it a day or two. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. But this is just the way these things work with these online games. But overall, early impressions, game runs and looks smooth. 60 frames.
Yeah, it was nice to watch.
Nice HDR. I mean, it looks great on the PS5. I'm sure it looks great on the Xbox Series X. It's a lot of fun. It's very challenging. And again, the variety to every mission, how much stuff you can do, it's pretty rad. So we'll have more on that probably next episode. Now, moving on to the first topic of the evening. We're going to talk Tom Hanks. We are talking News of the World. This is the movie, a Tom Hanks flick that dropped at Christmas time, and they waited, I believe it was like 17 days or like 3 weeks or something like that before it would drop on all streaming services. You can rent it right now for $19.99. I watched it on iTunes. Where'd you watch, on Amazon or something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, okay. You're a scumbag. So yeah, Tone, I want to get your thoughts on this. Obviously, you know, with the talent involved here, Tom Hanks, can't go wrong with Tom Hanks. I mean, I can't remember the last time Tom Hanks made a movie where I was like, man, this movie sucks.
Yeah, this movie does not suck.
I want
to preface with that. It does not suck. I really like his the dynamic with the girl. The language barrier and everything like that. I thought that was unique. I liked a lot of that. There were many times in this movie I thought it was going to go this way or maybe this way, and it really didn't go either way. It really kind of just went straight down the middle. I never felt like there was actual like consequence or something that really kind of like made a character grow. Like to me, it's a pretty simple movie. You're getting what you're getting. Like I said, it's not a bad movie. It doesn't suck. Is it a good movie? It's all right. Like, I enjoyed it, but it was nothing that was going to keep me up late at night trying to finish. Like, I definitely had to a certain point, I was like, yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. Like, I'll watch the rest of this another time. Yep. So, I love Tom Hanks. No matter what he's in, it's always extra to me. Yep. I feel like this role never got to see extra of Tom Hanks. Maybe except for the end. There's a gun shootout with the mountain or the cliff or not, whatever it is, like the rock face side of a little mountain. But that was one of the most entertaining parts. And then the part where they get to the town and he's telling the story. And I know I knew what he was going to do right away. Like, it was almost kind of predictable to a degree.
There's a lot of parallels to what we're going through now, you know, in 2020 and 2021. I thought there was a lot of interesting parallels and a lot of interesting things there. And, News of the World, this is directed by Paul Greengrass. And now Paul Greengrass is a phenomenal director. He's done, I think he did Bourne Ultimatum, Bourne Supremacy. I mean, he knows what the hell he's doing with action. He did United 93, which is seriously one of the hardest, like, hitting movies I've ever watched. He's great with action. He's great with intensity. He's great with tension. And so when I saw this, and based on even the trailer, I was expecting this to be a little bit more up tempo. I was expecting it to be a little bit more of an action. Not I want to say action, but just a high intense movie. I mean, he's taking this girl across the
Part
Southwest,
of Texas or something. Yeah.
I mean, it's dangerous times down there, and it's people are. It's just after, I believe it's just, is it before or after the Civil War?
It's after.
Just after the Civil War, so tensions are high. This and that. But basically what this is like Tom Hanks. He finds this girl. She was being raised by a tribe of Indians that were wiped out. She had no place to go, and he finds out that she has like family just outside of Texas, or like another part of Texas. And he's like, well, I'm going to take her to her family. And it's this trek across Texas. Like you said, the shootout is very much Paul Greengrass. It's very intense.
Mm-hmm.
It's well shot. But this reminded me a little bit of his character in Saving Private Ryan. He's not he's military. He's former military, but it's not something that he's super into. Because he goes around to all the cities reading the news to people. That's what he does. He goes around with a bunch of newspapers and reads the news to people, which I think is interesting because you think about that. These towns only find out about the news by a guy walking around, traveling from town to town, reading newspapers.
A lot of people can't read.
Yeah, nobody can read. When you think about now, you get all your news right now on social media. You go to Twitter, boom, I got all my news. Mm-hmm. This guy has to go from town to town. You don't know when you're going to see him again. Mm-hmm. So you're very slow on getting the news, which I feel it was like a really interesting thing to look at. Like, man, that's really crazy. And like you said, he goes to this town where this guy is kind of like running it as like his own dictatorship, and he's like lying to the people and has him doing what he believes is right. And then Tom Hanks, the way he handles the situation, like you mentioned, is just, it's really cool how he kind of just reads the news and people form their own opinions.
Uses it as a weapon.
Uses it as a weapon. But overall, I mean, it's one of those movies where, yeah, it's a slow burn. It's really kind of a slow burn after that shootout, and it's more of a character development. It's more like focusing on him as his paternal side, as trying to get this girl to her family, and in the process, they develop a relationship, they develop a friendship, and when it reached a certain point in the story where he delivers her to the family or to her family. He begins questioning things and maybe realizes maybe she's best with me.
Right.
It's just there is some very, very only good. It's not like The Postman. The Postman is just an atrocious movie. But it's let me guess, you like Postman?
I'm indifferent about it, but I just knew you were going to look at me and say that when I made a face, but go on.
Yeah, because I'm sure you were going to probably just celebrate the fucking
Waterworld, what up?
Oh, here we go. Waterworld is
Waterworld, what?
Oh, my God.
Waterworld, what?
With the Waterworld. That ending of Waterworld was just so laughable.
See? We got Waterworld is better.
Half-ass beer review. I love his beer reviews. Can't stand his opinion on movies. Just atrocious. Yeah, it's called Road to Perdition. Very similar to Road to Perdition. There are some similarities there.
To come back to, he said towards the bottom, Mark and Rath said $20 is a little steep. Absolutely.
It probably is a little steep. I mean, unless you're like a huge fan of Tom Hanks and you don't mind the fact that this is a more of, I don't want to say it's like a character study, but it's definitely a little bit slower paced than what you're used to from Paul Greengrass, especially. I mean, Paul Greengrass, again, has directed some really high-octane movies, and other than the shootout, this is, again, a slow burn. So I almost felt like the trailer was a little, I don't want to say it was purposely misleading, but I had different vibes coming from the trailer. I was like, man, this is going to be pretty wild movie, it looks like.
And we like movies that are slow burns and character development, but they've got to be, I don't want to say entertaining because that sounds bad, right? But I don't know. It's definitely, I would wait to. It's part of something on a service that you already pay for. Don't pay for it. Mm-hmm. Much respect to Tom Hanks as always. He's a great actor, and even the director is a great director. Like I love the Bourne Ultimatum movies and shit like that, or the Bourne whatever. What was it? 5 of them.
Well, yeah, he didn't do the first one. He did Supremacy, Ultimatum, and I believe he did Jason Bourne, the 5th one.
Yeah, they're all fun movies. They're pretty dope.
He just knows how to shoot like great action. Like he knows how to create tension, and that's the only thing that was like lacking from this movie, other than the shootout scene.
Yeah, it was definitely a little underwhelming. And
good performances though. I mean, the girl, her name is Helena Zengel. She's actually new. This is her first movie.
I thought she was fantastic.
She's really, really good. And Tom Hanks in the scenes that requires him to do what he does, he does it. He's He's great.
But it just felt like he
it was a
never
more
got to-
reserved.
like,
It was a
yeah,
more
it was a reserved role for him,
Yeah.
and that's fine because even in Greyhound,
Yep.
he was a little reserved,
way more reserved. Yeah.
but
for
the
that type of
movie at the same time was high tension.
High tension. Yep.
You know, so it kind of makes up for that. But either way, again, I didn't dislike it, didn't hate it. It was all right.
Not going to be something I'll remember out of his, his catalog of movies. It's not
Right.
going to be a standout feature, but I mean, it was decent. It was entertaining.
Right.
It was a good watch. But if there's better Tom Hanks movies.
And
out there,
Waterworld is better too. So let's move on.
Okay. Anyways, that was blasphemy. Now, obviously, we talked about a movie here, but we had 2 trailers drop this week. 2 trailers.
Boy, oh boy.
And boy, oh boy, these movies are fucking wild. So the first one we're going to watch right now, called Boss Level.
Smokers.
And it's directed by Joe Carnahan. He directed The Grey and Narc. And if you guys have not seen Narc with Ray Liotta and Jason Patrick, watch fucking Narc.
I feel like you've told me this before somehow.
Narc is fucking awesome.
I feel like you have.
Narc is awesome. But this is starring Mel Gibson, Naomi Watts, Michelle Yeoh, and Frank Grillo in what will be a leading role for him. This is a leading man role for Frank Grillo, who we've seen in MCU. He was in the Captain America movies.
Yep. Crossbones.
He was also in The Grey, which he was really good in. But he was in Jiu Jitsu, which was a wasted role for him. He was just completely wasted in that. But this is going to be his major leading role. Like, this is his first shot at leading the charge.
Well, don't forget he had a leading role in the sequel to the original Skyline sci-fi flick as well too.
Which nobody saw. All right, let's
Except for
check
me and
out
Prime.
the trailer for Boss Level.
Hey, Jake, can I get a large bottle of that Baijiu?
Ken John.
You know what?
Senor Chain.
How can you drink like that?
I used to complain
Like
that every
you.
day felt the same, and now every day is the same. Hey, Jake, I have died 144 times, and every day ends like this. But it doesn't matter. Not when you've lost everything you've loved. Banter,
Yes.
the man who had me killed 150 times.
The power to rewrite history is mine.
Heads up. I know everything that's gonna happen. One thing that never changes,
What's up, pretty boy?
a bunch of assholes killing me for reasons that remain a mystery.
I am Guan Yin, and Guan Yin has done this.
1, 2, 3.
It's for you.
Roy, can you hear me? I can't explain it right now, but I'm gonna need your help.
Gemma? The only woman I've ever loved and who can stop this is still alive. She's alive? I have to get killed. Hi, Roy. Over and over again.
I haven't heard anything in a while.
Until I save her.
I can't remember the last time I saw Naomi Watts
I
in a
need to
movie.
learn how to fight with a sword. I would only.
Oh, there she is.
I think we can get a lot done in a day.
Someone's been the busiest little beaver.
I'm stuck in the death loop because of you.
Exactly.
Bring them all on.
Gnarly.
I can do this all day.
Boss Level.
Max Payne without the bullet time.
Max Payne without the bullet time.
There's a lot of things going on there. You can really compare that to a lot of things.
Yeah, Tricky says Happy Death Day meets Kill Bill. I thought I could leave Frank alone.
What? I just want
You're
to say
turning
hi.
Mel on. Mel's turned on behind him.
Oh.
But he says Happy Death Day meets Kill Bill. We were saying it's like Groundhog Day meets Edge of the World.
Yeah.
Or Edge of the World
With Guns Akimbo in it.
Yeah,
or
Guns
something.
Akimbo.
Like,
I mean, it's just this looks fucking wild. And here we are, Mel Gibson again in one of these. I mean, we saw him in Fat Man, which was kind of like this absurd story as him playing Santa Claus, which actually ended up being really, really good.
really good.
And now you have this movie where he's playing like this. I don't know if he's like a god or something who has the control of time, and he can rewind time over and over and over again. And he keeps putting Frank Grillo's character through this. I don't want to say it's like a video game, but he keeps dying to these specific bosses.
Yeah.
But overall, initial thoughts on what we saw from the trailer. Dude.
I'm excited. This is, I mean, we love, these kind of movies. I don't know if you want to call. I mean, campy's the right word for them. they're just over the top fantasy action flicks.
Right.
And I feel like, and I was telling you this, like with like Mel Gibson, I feel like for him, he's starting to find like this late life niche.
Yep.
And it's I don't know if it's a cult following, I don't know what it is, but they definitely pander to a people who know what we like, and these
Right.
are movies, and these are sources of media that recognize and know what they are, and they live with it and they go with it. And when
Right.
people like Mel Gibson, for instance, like in Fanboytone, like we talked about,
Mhm.
I feel like he's going to do the same thing in this, where he's invested into the role.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's buying
And
into it.
that makes it way more different. That makes it on a almost a more believable. I don't know if that's the right word, but you watch something like that and you see somebody like Mel Gibson going, I am fully into this role.
It gives these characters in these movies a sense of credibility. Be like, why would Frank Grillo and Mel Gibson and Naomi Watts be in this movie? There's obviously something there that drew them to it. Now, obviously, Mel Gibson had some issues prior, but here he is. He's back in this movie. And again, we're talking about this again. It's cool to see Frank Grillo finally kind of getting that chance to headline a movie. He's the main character. He's the star of this movie. And this is an opportunity for him to really break into that, especially the action genre. He's got the charisma. He's a funny guy. He's built like a brick shit house. He can obviously do action.
And he seems like a normal kind of guy.
Yeah,
like
he
he's
doesn't
not
seem like a dick.
Well, just in general, like he seems like somebody that would be in these situations. He's not... he gets sometimes typecasted in these kind of like military style roles, but to me, like this kind of shows that he's not really just kind of needs to be painted into that corner.
Even though he is ex-military in this movie, that's his background.
Never mind, forget what I said. I'm just trying.
But this drops in March. It's actually going to be exclusive to Hulu. It's going to premiere on Hulu in March of this year. So a couple months from now, it'll be available on Hulu first, and then after that, it should be able to drop.
Finally,
everywhere else. But
Hulu getting some actual decent, because honestly, a lot of the shit they get on there, that's just Hulu.
Kind of meh. Oh, that's no good. Well, they got Mel Gibson, Frank Grillo, and Naomi Watts. That's a pretty good get. And then you got Ken Jeong in there.
Senior Chang.
Yeah. Michelle Yeoh. I mean, this is a stacked cast. This is a very capable cast that's going to try to carry a very absurd story. And I'm really curious to see how it goes. I mean, as long as everyone's having fun. You know who broke the typecasting good? Walton Goggins. No, you're not wrong. Walton Goggins does a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of range.
Walter?
No, it's Walton. Walton Goggins.
We got some comments. So first, we want to say hi to a couple people we haven't seen in a while. Ren Fox, Genosaurus Rex. Hey, what's going on, guys? Arkenrath says, what about those?
What about Mel Gibson?
Because there are some people that still don't want to deal with him.
No, like I said, hey, look. No kidding. I mean, those voicemails were very disturbing. Very disturbing.
Yes.
And, some people don't want to, if people can't forgive him for that, I get that. I totally get it. I understand that. I respect that. I don't have an issue with it. I sat down and I watched Fat Man and I had a good time with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I had a lot of fun with it. If he's a shitty human being, sure. Bruce Willis is a shitty human being. I watch Die Hard all the time.
He's still a shit. Well, yeah, he's not trying to make up for being a shitty human being these days. He's continuing to be a shitty human being. I watch
Die Hard. Now, the one I have a hard time watching is like Kevin Spacey. That's like the hard one for me to watch. Like, watch Seven or, American Beauty or something like that. It's just like, Kevin Spacey's he's kind of beyond sketchy,
Yeah, and I get it. And I don't want to get too far down this rabbit hole with somebody like Mel Gibson, but what I will say is, like, I totally get if people don't want to deal with his. Clearly, he's kind of a shitbag. I get it, but I feel like he is trying to turn over a new leaf, and maybe, just maybe, the reason we're still not seeing him in these big AAA roles are because people don't want to have anything to do with him.
Absolutely.
But he's finding this niche in these smaller secret movies that guys like us are like people like us are going, oh fuck, that's right up our goddamn alley.
Right.
And since he's a good actor,
or
maybe even great, really, you could probably say, he's in these roles and he's fully invested into them, and it's making the movies like could be here, but it's more like, oh wow, look at this, it's right here, right in front of Frank.
don't bug. Oh my god. All right. Now, obviously, we're excited for Boss Level, but the movie that really kind of got us really excited last week.
Oh fuck!
Is going to be the next entry in the Cage Rage saga of movies. Let's take a look at Willy's Wonderland.
Strap up.
This looks so dope.
Welcome to Willys Wonderland. Spend the night cleaning Willys Wonderland, and I will pay to have your car fixed. Deal? You are officially on staff. Let's get the hell out of here. I can't stand to hear a grown man scream.
This place has a dark history. I know the bullshit story they told you. It's a lie. You're here to be a human sacrifice.
It's all creepy.
Have you been listening to a word I've been saying? He's gonna die in here, but he won't listen to me.
No, he's Castor Troy. Practical effects, it looks like, too, right? Whatever, King.
Yes.
The machines got out. Nobody is safe. Put your balls on, Evan. We're going to Willys.
Going to Willys. I want to go to Willys.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to Willys. My birthday.
I love it. That's the best line in this movie.
Reminds me of Rorschach from Watchmen. Right, Jerry?
I enjoy a man of
Yeah.
few words.
Yeah, basically. So Five Nights at Freddy meets like Mandy or something. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like,
So Willy's Wonderland. Yeah, so a lot of comparisons to Five Nights at Freddy's. This shit looks nuts, dude. And the tagline, I love what they say in there. He's not trapped in here with them. They're trapped in here with him. And I was like, damn, dude, I'm signed up. Now, the interesting thing here is at the end of the trailer, the guy says, I like a man of few words. Nick Cage has no speaking lines in this movie. None.
think about that.
He
A
has
guy like Nick
no
Cage,
lines.
0 words spoken, and he's known.
Yeah, he's Nick Cage
for words.
Yeah, he's known for his delivery, but the guy is also known for his rage.
Mm-hmm.
He's known for being able to convey his emotions. He's very animated. His facial expressions are always there. No speaking lines. But you saw from the trailer, he's just going to be all over the place. He's going to be all over the place. I see Cuddles in here. He doesn't like Nick Cage, but he likes RoboCop 3. End of the discussion. That's pretty much where we're at. I mean, it is what it is, Cuddles. It is what
Drop
it is.
it.
But now the cool thing about this is we were looking at this, and immediately I was like, dude, this looks a lot like something like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Okay, because I got those same vibes, just very absurd. You know, and especially with the animatronics and all this stuff.
The animatronic eyes are very familiar.
Yeah, it looked a lot like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Come to find out, Grant Kramer, who played Mike in Killer Clowns from Outer Space, is a producer on this movie.
Great.
So there you go. You can tell it's got some of those elements. It's inspired by Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This shit looks dope. This comes out next month, February 12th, on demand. So a month from now, we'll be checking this movie out. I like Cage 20 years ago, and Cage was awesome 20 years ago. And yes, he did. You know, I'm not gonna lie, Cage has had a stretch. There's been a lot of bad movies in there, but now that he's kind of found this niche where he's in like these, just really, they're absurd premises, but they're good stories. They're well written.
Kind
they're
of
just
culty movies.
Yeah, culty. They're entertaining, but they let him do his thing. Now look, he's got some duds in there. Trust me, he's got some shit movies in there. Jiu-Jitsu, I believe that USS Indianapolis one, I refused to watch. I heard it's really, really bad.
Yeah.
Like, really, really bad. So will someone besides Tone get a hand up their... Huh?
Their ads?
Their ads. I don't know what that means.
Blanco,
ads.
what are you doing?
Jay Hill says, I like this concept. I always thought in some horror movies, what would happen if the victim actually fought back? You know, you look at Halloween H2O. Jamie Lee Curtis, she fights back against Michael Myers. It's cool to see them kind of twisted around where, you know, not just the monsters are winning. Now the monsters are almost like the ones in danger here.
Right.
And Nick Cage
They're the real
one
victim now.
Ghost Rider, I've never seen it, but I have.
You can skip it.
Is it really not that good? I never saw Ghost Rider. My brother liked it.
So... Oh God! This is okay. Let me just try to do this in less than 60 seconds.
Oh, Blanco! I thought you meant
there.
I know what he's talking about. Killer Clown when the mayor or not the mayor, the sheriff, the chief of police, he's got that hand up in there and he's gonna talk.
Ghost Rider wasn't Cage's fault. That's actually, I do agree with that. I feel like Ghost Rider, the thing about Ghost Rider that made it good was actually, even though the CG might not be the best, they got the mannerisms down of Ghost Rider himself when he's in the actual form as the rider and all that stuff. Nicolas Cage wasn't the problem. It was one of those things, again, where, especially the first one, because they had Blackheart in it, they didn't have the budget they needed for something like that. Like, this is done now in MCU Ghost Rider, it would be badass. The story just wasn't that great. It was very subpar. So these movies like this with these folks that come in, what's something we talked about recently that had good casting too, but the story was just so much shit. We're like, man, just story's wasted on them. But that's basically what happened with Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, you can skip it. It's all right. Like, if you're a comic fan, I'd say maybe kind of watch it, but don't go into it excited because you're not gonna be. So
right.
It's all right at best. The second one I refused to watch. I'll put it to you like that. Like the first one I don't mind. I can watch it. Second one I wouldn't even go back.
No way.
It was apparently it's pretty bad.
That bad, huh?
Yep. There you
That's
go.
no good.
There you go.
But no, this looks to be another one of those movies that's going to fall under hopefully the Mandy and Colorado Space type of movie where it's just going to be crazy. Like, or what was Mom and Dad?
Mom and Dad. Oh yeah, Mom and
Mom
Dad.
and Dad. This looks like something like it's going to fall under like Mom and Dad, just completely nuts. Hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes of just batshit crazy fun. So I'm definitely gonna be down for that. Wait, except what did you guys talk about the Mortal Kombat movie? We addressed it, Blanco. We addressed it, but you can check it out on Facebook. We have it up on our Facebook page.
Check out the Facebook page.
As a huge Waterworld fan, I can honestly say the second Ghost Rider is hard to watch.
Thank you, Half-Ass Beer Review.
Wow, that about sums it up. So that's pretty dope.
Right.
How are you doing? Are you okay?
What
we proceed to the next topic, or
is
your bladder gonna blow up? 9:49.
Got a little time in it.
Got a little time?
It got a little time in it.
Okay, all right. So moving on from these two awesome-looking movies. Again, February 12th, Willy's Wonderland will be available, and you better believe we'll definitely be checking that out.
Last night was Willy's Wonderland, too, but let me tell you something else.
Okay. It's inappropriate. But now, we're going to move over to some streaming shows that have come out recently. I'm going to start off with M. Night Shyamalan's The Servant.
But don't forget, real quick out there, if you have not yet entered in the giveaway, !enter for that giveaway, which you can choose between a PlayStation, Xbox, and or eShop gift card, and or if you want none of those, if you don't want any of those, you can also get Dude's shitty non-sugar undies.
Dirty undies. ! Enter. You have 18 minutes and 9 seconds to get into the contest. All right. So, first show we're going to talk about is one that you didn't see. You didn't watch any of it. You don't even know what the hell's going on. So I'm just gonna talk about
you
it briefly.
gambled harder on M. Night Shyamalan than I would.
I know, and I get that. Believe me, I get it. But I mean, M. Night Shyamalan, despite The Happening, I'm just going to focus on The Happening because that's what was the one with Nicolas Cage that he did? Didn't he do like an airbender or what was the air?
He did
Avatar,
something with, didn't he?
He did
was Nicolas Cage in that? Oh, I don't remember that.
He did something with Nicolas Cage that I didn't even watch. That was like right after The Knowing or just before. What was the one where he has the bees on his head? The Wicker Man. It was like somewhere in that stretch.
Don't people
of movies.
like that though?
No, The Wicker Man's really.
Is it
bad.
Classically known as? I've never seen it.
I mean, that's classically known as one of the worst scenes ever that he's ever been in.
Fair enough.
But yeah, he had a stretch of movies. The Village. I didn't care for The Village. I liked Signs.
I didn't mind Village.
I liked obviously Sixth Sense. Unbreakable. I liked.
Unbreakable is literally one of my favorite movies of all time. In a top 20, it's probably going to hit that top 20, and it's from the comic book side of it. I love that movie.
Yep.
That follow-up is was the one I was trying to think of. Like, I tried to give him redemption by doing because
you didn't like the follow-up to Unbreakable?
The one where all three of them were
No, the second one.
The second one was good. What is that called? With the fucking
with James McAvoy.
With McAvoy. What is that called? God damn it! Why can't I think? What's the name of that movie, guys?
Someone hit us with it.
McAvoy with all
McAvoy where he's all the personalities.
Yeah, Jesus. Split.
There you go. Split. Yep.
Split is
fucking
fucking
Yep.
amazing.
Yep. Split is
so
amazing.
I'm like, damn, M. Night's on a roll with some of this stuff. Let's check it. And then he comes out with Glass, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Glass was trash. Glass was really bad. And that sucks because of the talent involved with that movie. Obviously, you got Sam Jackson, old girl that you're a big fan of.
Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
No, Split was amazing, and so M. Night Shyamalan has shown that when he's on point, he can make a fucking sweet movie. Split was incredible, dude. Split for the first.
McAvoy deserved awards.
Oh, dude, absolutely,
Absolutely. Awards.
I mean, he was incredible in that movie. But even to that point, man, I remember watching that for the first time, and I avoid all spoilers somehow. I managed to avoid the big spoiler at the end.
Really?
And when it does get to the end, and I won't get into it, but well, obviously we know we're talking about in the trifecta, but when you start hearing the music, and you're like, wait, is this the music from? And then they get into the cafe, and you see, I'm just like, dude, that was like the holy shit moment. And not so much the ending, like you're like, oh my god, that was really intense. That was really.
It was intense.
But man, when the ending is revealed, that's where I was like, holy fuck, are you serious?
Same universe.
That was wild, dude. That was absolutely wild. So, I mean, when M. Night Shyamalan is on point, he's really hard to beat. But obviously, for all the good movies, you've always got a village. Yeah, The Last Airbender. You've got The Happening. You've got Glass. You've got a lot of duds there. If you guys haven't seen The Visit, check that one out.
Yeah.
That was his first positive hit in a long time. It's actually, and it's got a nice little twist at the end. The Visit is really, really good. It's really, really good movie. It wasn't quite as well known because there's no big actors in it, but it's a creepy movie. And then when it's done, you're just like, oh shit. Okay. The Visit was the bounce back he really needed. The Visit was the bounce back he needed before he got to Split. He really needed The Visit to get to that.
That's so weird. But anyways,
But going to The Servant here. Now, this show, it's impressive because it takes place 90% of the time in this couple's apartment. You've got this couple, the mother had something happened with her baby. The baby died, and she's having a hard time coming to terms with it. And they end up grabbing one of these dolls that's like something that I can't remember the term for it. My wife knows what it was. She was like, oh, I know what that is. And I was like, what? But it's like a doll that people use to like, raise, get them prepared to have kids, but they're using it in this instance to help kind of cope with her struggle with what happened. And this girl shows up, Leanne. She wants to be a nanny. The mom hires a nanny for the doll because in her mind, baby's still alive. That's the trauma she's going through. Right. So they hire in this nanny, Leanne, and she shows up. She's got this mysterious background. Nobody knows who she is. And sure enough, a couple days later, the baby's alive. Baby's in the crib, and they're like, "What the?" The mom has no idea she's fine with it because she's in her mind the Jericho's always been alive. The husband is just kind of like in disbelief. He's like, "What is going on? Like, how is this happening?" And then you kind of start figuring out the story of what happened to Jericho, the real baby. Rupert, I can't remember his last name. Rupert, his first name is Rupert.
Ron Weasley.
Yeah, well, anyways, he was in the Harry Potter movies. He is incredible in this show. It's a very small cast, very talented cast, and it is creepy as fuck. Rupert Grint, thank you. Rupert Grint, I think that's what it is. Rupert Grint. Blanco's struggling with that.
Blanco, what are you? Blanco, are you using the tip of your pee-pee to type tonight? Like, what's going on there?
Rupert Grint is fucking awesome in the show. He is like, again, you see this character that you're so used to in Harry Potter's movie, and he plays like kind of like this slimy, snobby, like he's a jerk, but he's awesome. He's like really funny. But again, very small cast. It's a small setting, but the mystery behind Leanne and the baby and what happened to the baby. There's a lot of they dip into like occultism. It's really an intense show. It's creepy. Yeah, it's scary in certain scenes. It's creepy. And season 2 just started, and basically obviously picks up where it left off. If you guys have Apple TV or Apple Plus, or if you at least want to check it out, wait till the full season's out. Sign up for a month of Apple Plus. Right. It is fucking worth it. The first season was amazing. The first episode of season 2 was really, really good. Again, the performances, everybody is really good in this show. I didn't know. Other than Rupert Grint, I didn't know who these. The husband was actually in Kong Skull Island. He was in that, and the girl. I don't know if you guys ever saw.
Yeah.
She's the redhead right here. Did you ever see what was the movie with Jennifer Love Hewitt? Back in the 90s, the party movie where they're all at the party and
Waiting to Exhale.
Oh no. It's the one with God. I'm trying to remember.
Right.
Something you or I can't remember.
Oh fuck yeah, I know what you're talking.
You know what I'm talking
That's
about?
what I'm trying to. It's got Seth Green in it.
Yeah, Seth Green, Ethan Embry or whatever. But She's the redhead that actually makes out with Seth Green. She's the redhead. Like they hook up in the bathroom.
Oh, he's okay.
And she is incredible in this movie, in the show. She is really, man. I haven't seen her since I was like, and she comes in the show, and she is so good because again, she's dealing with trauma. Can't hardly wait. Thank you, Josh. She's really good. This show is worth every cent of an Apple Plus subscription, you guys. I mean, it is really good. They've had a lot of good shows pop up. I know there's that Chris Evans show I haven't watched yet. That was supposed to be really good, but this show is fucking really, really good, you guys. It's really good. So if you get a chance to sign up for Apple Plus, wait till the full season's out and just binge the first two seasons. You'll want to be back for the third season. And what's cool is M. Night Shyamalan has actually been. I'm actually impressed with the decision he made here. When he first made this show, he envisioned it to be 60 episodes. And there's 10 episodes a season, so 6 seasons. But he's looking. Just recently, he did an interview where he was looking at what Netflix is doing and some of these other shows that are running too long. He said, I've gone back, looked at everything, and I've brought it down to 40 episodes. I don't want to drag it out. I want it to be impactful the entire way, not drag it out. So for him to go out and be like, look, we're going from 60 to 40, that's a big decision. That's a big decision. I'm sure Apple was probably like, oh, are you sure? We want to keep it going.
Right.
But for the sake of story and for the sake of making it interesting the entire way before dragging it out, to cut it down 20 episodes to fit it all into 40 episodes, that's a big move.
So besides him having a cameo in it, I'm sure somewhere.
He doesn't at all.
Yet. But I'm sure the twist at the end was that this takes place in the village.
or the happening. If Mark Wahlberg shows up, then I'd be very disappointed. But overall,
you're a goat. That's awesome.
But every episode, it's got that. It's a cliffhanger. You're just like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? And when the season ended, you were like, fuck, can't wait for the next season. Here we are. So far, you guys, it's really, really good. Thank you so much, Have Has Be Reviewed, for that subscription, man. We appreciate you. But you guys, check it out. It's really, really good. Big fan of the show. I think you guys will all dig it if you look at it.
I'm just surprised to be talking about M. Night Shyamalan positively.
Hey man, well, you just said Split was amazing, so you know what the guy's capable of.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like a coin with him.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Weird
it's
as
either
fuck.
really good or it's just.
And like I can't think of anybody else in comparison who's like that. Like it's literally
Nicolas
half
Cage?
the time. He's not to blame for everything. Like he puts 100% behind everything. Normally,
okay.
Maybe it's the story, right? Like
that's valid.
Let's be careful of the one true God.
The one true God.
The master of the paradigm.
He cuddles nose Cage.
Just hey, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
All right, now. What are we at? Where are we at on the timer? Oh, you got to go tinkle, don't you?
Yeah, it is. It is time. It is time. You know what time it is.
Yeah, it's time for you to go tinkle. All right, guys. We're going to take a quick break. 8 minutes to enter the giveaway. 8 minutes. Exclamation point, enter. Get in.
Get in that damn giveaway.
A $20 gift card of your choice. PSN, Xbox, or eShop, Nintendo eShop.
Or Undies.
Get in there now. We'll be right back. Love you. And welcome back. Tone is all done going tinkle.
Yes.
Feel better, buddy?
Yeah.
Good for you. All right. Now, the big topic of the evening. Also, let's take a look here. Where are we at on the timer? Because you took like 9 minutes to piss. My grandfather. 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes to enter the drawing to win. 5
It's a
minutes.
long way to travel out.
We'll come back to that in just a moment to get a countdown in. But the first big the big topic of the evening, WandaVision.
Yeah.
We've been anxiously awaiting for this to drop. WandaVision episode 1 and 2 dropped last Friday. And dude, I'm gonna let you kind of start this conversation because I know you were really excited for this.
Right.
I want to get your initial impressions of what we got from WandaVision here.
So if you have or haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it and want to avoid spoilers, now's the time to mute, right?
Right, yeah, get out.
Yep. I'm gonna start by saying, I enjoy old school sitcoms like TV Land kind of shit. I grew up in Syndicate like everybody else with a lot of different shows, but I loved Bewitched.
Yep.
I loved Dick Van Dyke Show. I Dream of Jeannie. That said, the way they were setting this movie up in that kind of format, I was excited about because first of all, I'm like, this is unique, right?
Yes.
This is not something we would expect. But more importantly, I knew that this was going to do kind of what it has done, which is made some people like, well, this fucking sucks. I don't even want to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the rest was going like, oh shit, there's a lot of potential, like what's going on here. And it's definitely where I'm falling into it. Like, I enjoyed both episodes.
Yep.
Even if they didn't have anything to do with the MCU, if they were literally just like old school sitcom episodes,
yep,
they're fucking cool.
Yep.
Like, I would watch that. I'd be like, oh, this is fucking fun.
Yep.
Elizabeth Olsen,
she's so good, dude.
literally is perfect for this role. Like, her acting fits an old school sitcom to a T. Like, I was
you know
blown
she did
away.
her homework. You know she did her homework. I watched a ton of footage.
It's crazy because like watching those shows and knowing like the cues and like the facial expressions, everything she's doing in this is spot on. And it's funny because she, of course, in the MCU, she comes from Sokovia, which is supposed to be like, you know, kind of like a Middle Eastern-ish or Eastern European, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's got usually a Russian accent,
right? Because
in the comics, that's, you know, that's kind of her descent is like, it's kind of similar to, and she doesn't have the accent in here. And well, a lot of the reason is because it's, you know, she's fitting herself into this like reality that she's building. So, I don't know how deep to go into this with everybody because it could get kind of like, this one's a rabbit hole, everybody. This show is not. And I love watching Easter egg videos after like any of these shows come out. And we talk about that often. I'm pretty open about it. Mm-hmm. People that I watch, Screen Crush being the main one. When you start breaking down into these Easter eggs, you start seeing what's going on, what they're doing, and what they're hinting at. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, holy shit. Now, I personally don't know a fuck ton about Wanda and Vision and their backgrounds. I know more than most, and I would even dare say I probably know more than even mediocre fans to some degree.
Sure.
I never really dove deep into them in the comics. I was just aware of a lot of things. The big one in the last decade and a half would being the House of M. That was a big deal for the Marvel Comics, and it had a lot to do with the fact, believe this or not, had a lot to do with the fact that Fox still had the X-Men and mutants because they didn't want mutants and X-Men to be recognizable. They wanted to kind of choke them out, and in the end, clearly it works because now Disney own all the Fox properties. And it was a way to focus on things like Inhumans and push other properties that they could kind of bring to the forefront. But that storyline is pretty fucking wild. How they get there. How many seconds we got left?
We have 1 minute.
Okay. The story of that is nuts, and there's a lot of that going on with this. And we've talked about a couple times on this show about how this movie is a stepping stone, because this movie is, for all intents and purposes, it's kind of a prequel to Doctor Strange, to the Multiverse of Madness, which she actually co-stars in, and which is another stepping stone from what it seems like into Spider-Man 3 as well too, with Tom Holland. So a lot of the stuff they're setting up in the 2 episodes were really just trying to, it's almost like they almost did it on purpose. Like they wanted to push everybody out who wanted to whine about it and didn't get their prepackaged pill that they want.
Yep.
They wanted to get these folks out of the way and say, okay, this is, you guys stay with the ride because it's about to get crazy.
Right.
And we're 10 seconds.
10 seconds. 9, 8. Exclamation point, enter to get in. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the winner is Mortally Crafty.
Mortally Crafty.
Mortally Crafty. You have won a $20 gift card of your choice, whether it be PlayStation Network, Xbox Live, or eShop. Just hit exclamation point claim. If you're in the chat, exclamation point claim. Quickly, Mortally. Quickly, exclamation point claim. You got this, Mortally. She's right there. She said yes. There it is. We got ourselves a winner. All right, Mortally, we'll hit you up towards the end of the show. I think you know.
Yeah, we got you in the Discord. So,
okay, she's in the Discord. Okay, awesome. Yep.
By way of his actions, we'll get you the.
We will get you the code of your choice. So think about it: PlayStation, Xbox Live, or Nintendo eShop.
eShop.
That's where you can get your $20 code. So thank you so much, Mortally, for being here, for hanging out. Appreciate it. Prime did not win. Prime will never win ever again. Ever again.
Yeah, I actually we got him chained up in his basement, and we're taking all his electronics out tomorrow. They're mine.
Turns out he's incredibly turned on by that too. It's really weird.
It's really weird.
It made it really awkward because we thought we were being badass.
Yeah, because we were taking his TV, he was like licking his lips at it.
Yeah, we had him chained up, and he was like, "Take your clothes off," and I was like, "Okay, we're leaving." But no. To go back to what you were saying, man. You know, this is not. You know, for the most part, a lot of MCU stuff that we see in the movies and whatnot have been pretty straightforward. I mean, there's always some twists here and there.
Right.
This is not a straightforward show, and you realize that right away. I mean, this is obviously Wanda has created this reality to deal with the loss of Vision. Obviously, Vision, what happened to him, but she's created this reality where he's there. But the beauty of it is, man, is like this is what I kind of expected though going into it. I mean, I understand the people that are expecting more. They want more of a story. They want to know what's going on. They want everything explained to them in the fucking trailer. They don't want to just see it in the first episode. They want to know what's going on via the trailer. I can't help those folks. I like to have a little mystery. I like a little bit of surprise. Here it is. Yeah, or is she trapped in that reality?
Great question.
Good question, Panic. That's what I like about it. Is this something she's creating, or is she stuck there? And based on what we heard in episode 2, when that radio comes through, somebody's saying, "Who's doing this to you, Wanda?" So you're like, oh, well, is she doing this? Or
well, then she was able to rewind time at one point.
She was able to rewind time, so obviously she has some control of it. He says totally trapped, and I get, and believe me, that's my thought too. But if she's trapped, how is she able to rewind time?
Right.
So unless because she's in this alternate reality that's been created by somebody else, she can utilize her skills in there. She realizes she has a little bit of control over it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's interesting.
So let's be brass tacks with this character, and I don't know if anybody out there knows the answer to this. And a quick, Google probably could. King Cuddle's looking at you, Mod. She may be an Omega level like mutant or hero, whatever you want to call it in comics, because I'm guessing if you can literally change the entire scape of an entire comic book world by thinking the mutants don't exist, mm-hmm. she's like in a higher plane. Like they rank them like different whatevers. Like Iceman, for instance, a lot of people don't realize he's an Omega style mutant. Like he's one of the most powerful. She is, yeah, I'm pretty sure, Trick. She is like one of the most powerful. So we have to understand that we're dealing with a character who can do things that we've never seen before, technically in the MCU.
Right.
So sometimes you gotta. They've done a good job with the MCU of like introducing us into the cosmic side of this world and other things with the Guardians of the Galaxy and certain powers and this, that. Now that they own the Fox properties, because she's technically supposed to be a mutant, but in the MCU she got her power from the Tesseract. Now they're saying basically it sounds like that the Tesseract opened up these latent abilities within her, and that's how it creates the mutants.
Right.
Point is that this show needs to kind of they're using almost like an artsy like this liberty to bring apart or not to bring apart, excuse me, to tell the story from like not what you expect, not straightforward. I'm trying to not like bash all my thoughts into once, but I've got like three things.
I'm trying. Excited.
I am.
I got
like three things I'm trying to bust out, but they're doing this a unique way to kind of take that Band-Aid off instead of ripping it off as well too. And that's kind of the exciting part about it for me, is that they're doing it from this reality that she's clearly built, because that's what she can do. She can change, alter time and space. It's almost like somebody said, she's got all the powers of all the gems in the gauntlet herself from the Infinity Gauntlet. She showcases a lot of those powers. This is, again, to come back full circle, being a stepping stone into what we're going to see with Doctor Strange and going forward, because the point is that this is leading into Phase 4. And Phase 4 is going to probably, of course, we have a new villain, right? Or two, really, because they almost do two. They do like this big cosmic villain. They kind of do like a ground level villain. Now, the show has a lot of crazy characters in it that, like, I mean, I don't even know where to begin to break this down for everybody. There's a lot going on. I'm just gonna bounce off a couple things. One thing is Sword, which is now in the comics it was called something different, but they changed, instead of sentient, now it's Sentient Weapon Observation Response Division. At the end of Spider-Man Homecoming, you see Nick Fury in this facility in space, and that's the new Sword facility. The Shield no longer exists, so Sword and Shield get it right. So there we are with that. That's a big piece of this. One of the characters that was in it, the lady sitting next to her, is actually Monica, or I believe it's Monica, is supposed to be playing Rambo, niece of Captain Marvel in the 90s movie of Captain Marvel. She now works for Sword, and she somehow used that helicopter to get herself into this reality. Right. That's why I showed the sword or whatever like that too. So we are in this almost like this uncharted territory to how they're going to tell these next villains. We don't know who the big next one is, but it looks like, because of a lot of the past with Vision and with Wanda involving, now that she's pregnant, which are the twins, and which brings about Agnes as well too. What's her name? Did we write that up there? I'm trying to remember. Agatha Harkness. Yep. And that's all tied into which people are hypothesizing, the villain Mephisto, who is one of, or whatever, devils in Marvel, and he's got even ties, I believe, to Ghost Rider, if I remember correctly. So if there is a villain in this series, that's probably gonna kind of come full circle back to him. Now Agatha Harkness was a character prominent to Wanda's background in a lot of comics, because she is supposed to be literally a witch from the Salem witch era. Right. She helps Wanda use her witch powers. So she's almost kind of like there. If you think about some of the dialogue they have, she's almost kind of egging her on in some way. And
she really is.
She really is. She's kind of prodding her and stuff like that, and saying some of the stuff she says kind of almost like breaks fourth wall to a degree. Yeah. So I could keep rambling on it. There's a lot going on here. I enjoyed it. I'm really excited to see where they're going with it. Because at the end of the day, like, I want to see Doctor Strange 2. I'm excited about Sam Raimi coming back. And I'm excited to see what they do with the Multiverse of Madness, because I think it's going to be kind of flipped of House of M. She is going to be a big part in a way. They usher in, hopefully, mutants and other things into the MCU. Right. And I also think that this is going to continue through that thread with this Doctor Strange, and then to Spider-Man 3. And we might see a mini Spider-Verse, because we keep talking about, and we haven't talked a lot about it on the show except for as a blurb, but all the old Spider-Mans, all the old cast members, and then, as Primoy says, building the Sinister Six through the multiverse. So that's just I feel like that's a third of all the crazy shit that's going on with this.
Nick Cage is a Wolverine.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff going out there. People are talking. I know in the comics she started as a mutant, but does not see any class as one anymore. I think they may have changed that too with the mutant stuff, because they didn't have, again, Fox had the property
at the time
of mutants. Yeah, so it's been kind of bounced back and forth. And now, like, when you look at the MCU stuff, originally powers were given by the Tesseract, and then after they got Fox, it actually changed pretty fast to saying that the Tesseract just unlocked latent abilities within her. So,
oh damn, Cuddles came in with some knowledge here. During the 70s run on Avengers, writer Steve Englehart decided to make Wanda live up to her name and become a true witch. He had her study actual sorcery under the tutelage of Agatha Harkness, an old and powerful mage who had appeared in the pages of Fantastic Four. She learned that while her hexes might be genetic in nature, they allowed her to tap into and manipulate actual magical forces. She wasn't just a witch in her name only anymore. Plus, she became that much more powerful. Thanks, Cuddles. Appreciate that. And just to kind of like, he touched on a lot of the deep lore stuff and the stuff that they're alluding to and they're hinting at. And again, if you guys get a chance, go and check out some of the Easter eggs. These first two episodes are fucking stacked with all sorts of Easter eggs. But the thing I really dig about it, and it goes back to kind of what Panic says, he says, like I wrote above, he said unique storytelling, God forbid. And this is very unique. And the reason that I dig this sort of storytelling is because, again, it keeps me guessing. But I love how she's created this alternate reality, where it looks like it's taking place in the Dick Van Dyke Show or Bewitched or something like that. I mean, it's just, and again, the Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, they have great chemistry, and they are like two sitcom characters from back in the 50s.
They work really well too.
They're really good, but it's the moments where reality starts to fracture a little bit, and you start to get the signs from outside of this reality. Those are the moments where that pique my interest the most. That's why I love that it's not straightforward. I love the fact that, when she's sitting there and having a conversation, all of a sudden the radio is playing "Help me, Rhonda, help me, Rhonda." But every time it says Rhonda, you hear somebody come in and say, "Why? Who's doing this to you, Wanda?" You hear these communiques coming through, or like you said, you see the helicopter that's in color in the bush, or when they go outside and the person comes out of the sewers in a beehive in a bee outfit. You're just like, what is going on?
Right.
That kind of shit fucking piques my interest, and I love it. I love it because I don't know what's going on, but it breaks everything that's gone on up until that point, and it just creates that mystery, and it makes me think, I don't want an answer right away. I wanted to see how they're going to like slowly build this up and get us to where we need to be. And it's just, again, the performances are great. Everyone involved is really good. And I love the way they're telling the story in this show, man.
It's kind of like how, and I actually am one of the few that really enjoy Jessica Jones from the Netflix series. It's kind of like how they basically take a 1920s noir detective like story and paint it behind like this new age detective story in a way, like from her inner dialogue and stuff like that. This is a show with a unique story that's coming, and crazy things are going to happen, and they're telling it through the scope of an old school television sitcom because they think that, in Sokovia when she was a kid, that's all she had to watch was westernized old school sitcoms, which is a pretty neat angle. And then there's some cool things like that. Yes, Jay Hill, I definitely agree with that. That's what I think too. I don't know if that's ever been proven to be true, but like Mephisto and Kang
the Conqueror is Jonathan Majors.
That's what we're kind of starting to think.
Well, I believe that's been confirmed. That's who he's playing.
That? Okay,
that's who he's playing is Kang the Conqueror.
Awesome. So I don't know if that's like their main plan because Kang's a big deal. There's a lot of interesting things with that character. They're definitely going a different route, I think, with the MCU. But like, I don't know if he's Thanos levels. They could make him Thanos levels. So who knows if he's going to be the big bad overall mystic for the entire Phase 4, right? Because that's the thing is like when they build these like Thanos, there's all these proxy villains and enemies and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden Thanos is the overall arc of it. So we'll see how that plays out. Kang could definitely do that character as well too, for sure. Actually, Mephisto even could, honestly. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to see like the beekeeper with the sword patch on it. There's a lot of people that think that there's ties to AIM on that, which AIM, as you know from playing Marvel's Avengers, people don't. This is something I thought about the other day and nobody's talked about. They keep saying like they show the hexagon. Well, AIM, part of AIM's thing is a hexagon. Think about all the hexagons we deal with in that fucking game. It's because of AIM. And no one's even Screen Crush didn't even mention that. So I don't know if there's anything to that, if I'm just overlooking it, or if there's any irony to that. But there's a lot. There's definitely a lot going on here, and like this is one that you need to unpack. My best suggestion to anybody that's watching or trying to watch it, do or don't like it. Excuse me. After you watch an episode,
just keep going.
And honestly, go to YouTube and watch an Easter egg video for each episode. I say that about a lot of things because there are a lot of things that even I miss on a lot of stuff. With Star Wars stuff, I miss a couple things here and there too. But these guys go deep into some of the stuff, and like the Screen Crush guy that I usually watch, he does a great job of really going deep in a very fast-paced manner that you can just watch, 6,
It's
7
interesting
minutes
because
really
some of the Easter eggs, some of them are just fanfare and nothing else to it. It's just like, oh, that's cool. But there are some in there that you're just like, holy shit, dude.
Some in there
are like legitimate like plot points. You're like, oh shit, this might be where we're going with this.
Or even that it's like a stepping stone as well too. It's like a hint of this thing can all of a sudden turn into like it could go way over here.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of these are older characters. They've been around for a long time. There's a lot of lore, and again, they're very unique characters, and they were never like until House of M. They were never huge characters,
right?
Not like it's not like saying Cyclops or something from X-Men. You say Wanda from Avengers, Scarlet Witch, aka Scarlet Witch. You're like, whatever, like okay, cool. I may not have heard of that character,
right? I like what Panic said down there, too. He said, I heard the commercials were related to the trauma she experienced. And those commercials that pop up in
oh, yeah,
each
absolutely.
Episode, one had, like, the Stark toaster.
One had the Stark toaster.
And then the watch had Hydra on it.
It was Strucker, because Baron Strucker was the one that was...
Yep.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like I said, there's a lot of shit going on with this show. And, again, it's going to keep people guessing. And I don't expect to get too much in Episode 3. I don't expect to get too much in Episode 4. It's just going to be one of the things where it's going to be like that drip feed effect. Just a little bit here, and then when it finishes up is when you're probably going to get the knockout punch, like, oh shit, here's what's going on. So it's been dope. The production values are through the roof. The performances are great, especially by Bettany and Olsen. They're both just incredible.
Bettany's
they're
so underrated. He's been around for a long time. He's so
incredibly
underrated, man.
He's a phenomenal actor. So
yeah, I absolutely
big fan of Paul
agree with
Bettany, and I'm really digging the show, man. I'm really excited to see where they go with this, and I don't care if it's just a little bit here and there, a little bit here and there. I'm fine with that. I like the way they're doing it.
And I'm hoping there's been rumors of cameos in this. Now we've seen Monica Rambeau, but she's an actual character, and we've got Agnes or Agatha Harkness or whatever like that. But like, there's been rumors of other actual actors playing some cameos. Now that's all fucking rumor. I mean, we got this covered. 1.5% of the time are they right on anything they report. So who knows? Yes, Knight's Tales. Thank you. Yes, exactly. That's the first time I remember Bettany, and I still do enjoy that performance in that. But I hope that we get to the end of this, and we see either like somebody sitting there watching TV and clicking it.
Yep.
Is that Mariah Hill? Could we see Colby Smothers at some point? Is Nick Fury somewhere around? If they're watching this TV, it looks like they're on swords, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Could we see Doctor Strange in this? So could Cumberbatch, is that right?
Cumberbatch, yeah.
Yeah. Could he show up somewhere? Like, that'd be cool,
That'd
like
be
towards
dope.
the end, at least towards the end or something like that.
The possibilities are
to tie
limitless.
to tie it into like Multiverse of Madness. I want some.
I mean, seriously, other than Downey Jr. and obviously we just found out that Chris Evans is in talks, or maybe they finalized stuff where he's going to reprise his role as Captain America. Now, what scale we don't know yet. I think my understanding is it's not going to be like a full on Cap movie. It's going to be kind of like how Robert Downey shows up in the Spider-Man movies, something
Right.
to that effect. But I mean, other than that, dude, everyone else is still under contract. Chris Hemsworth could show up.
It sounds like Chris Hemsworth doesn't want to go away.
No, he's in, dude. He's in.
I don't think he wants to do anything.
But I mean, everyone else is still under. Tom Holland, they're all under contract. They're all still a part of the MCU. So literally anybody could show up at any point on this show.
Yeah.
Disney is like, look, if this was like CBS, you're not going to pull it, but this is Disney. Okay, this is Disney, and they have the MCU under their belt, and they have they'll bring in whoever the fuck. If they want to bring in Chris Hemsworth, they'll write him a fucking check, and Chris Hemsworth's going to, I'll be there.
I mean, shit, like, yeah, exactly. And like in even the old in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like the first episode, Nick Fury's in it.
Yep.
Colby Smothers has made appearances early on in that too. So it's like now that they control the entire thing with Disney Plus and Kevin Feige's involved, these characters, and we could get to. I mean, we got Tom Hiddleston coming with Loki soon.
Yep.
Could we see Chris Hemsworth in that? Maybe that'd be dope.
I feel like you almost have to.
You almost kind of have to, right?
Right.
So like at some point when we keep going forward with these shows, and we start looking at how is COVID affecting streaming, vice versa. Good God, that was a burpee.
It smells like death too. It's terrible.
Probably does. We could see these cameos on Disney Plus.
Wow. Continue, please. Don't let me stop.
That's all I got. I don't know.
That's all you got. No, it's rad, dude. So we'll see what happens Friday night, and we'll talk about it again next time we do a show. So moving on to our final show. Now, look, this show is not on the same level in terms of like its marketing and its buzz yet.
It wasn't even on a radar.
It wasn't on a radar. But we stumbled across it. We started talking about watch the trailer and we're like, what the fuck, dude? This looks dope.
Who sent it to us? Was it did you find was it Jay Hill or something?
I think I stumbled across it on something on some.
Yeah, you did, and you sent it me like,
I was like, how did I fucking miss this?
Yeah, that's what it was.
So HBO Max has a new show, and it's called 30 Coins.
And it's from the Europe side.
Yeah, it's over in Europe. It's filmed over there. It's all in Spanish, so it's got the subtitles and everything. It's a Spanish horror movie or a horror series. It's called 30 Coins. And you guys, if you have HBO Max, which I'm assuming many of you do, you have to start watching the show.
You have to start watching the show.
It is a mixture of, it's obviously got religious overtones, it's got horror tropes, and Tricky said it right there. It's not, that's the only way to describe this movie is it's fucking nuts. The show, it's absolutely fucking nuts. Quick synopsis: this priest. Excuse me, no, I'm doing.
See, you're doing it. That's the sour, man.
I know. This priest played by Edward Fernandez. He's Father Vergara. He comes to this small town in Spain or wherever they're at. Is acting as the priest for this village. Now, the minute he shows up, some weird fucking shit starts going on. Like the first episode, the first 10 minutes.
Jesus fucking Christ, the first 10 minutes, man.
You're like, what the fuck is going on? What is this for real?
Yeah.
And so basically, I'll just spoil this part because it doesn't spoil anything. But the opening scene is they're in this like this I don't know where they're at, like
a barn
or a farm or something like that. And there's a cow that's going into
farm.
labor. Yeah, this cow is going into labor, and the villagers and
mooing.
whatnot are there. The Elena, the town veterinarian, she's there, and as the cow gives birth, they pull it out, and it's a human. It's a human baby.
It's a human baby,
and everyone's like, "Whoa, what the fuck is going on here?" So she goes and gets the mayor involved, or the mayor, Paco, and they kind of start investigating things, and just as soon as that happens, shit just goes fucking nuts around this town. People start acting crazy, and basically it's based on I want to say it's the Testament of the Testament of Matthew from the Bible, where it's about 30 coins of silver paid to yes, that's it, Cherry right there. Yep, it's based on Matthew's tale, where he describes that he not describes, he gives the story about how Judas received 30 pieces of silver to betray Jesus, and the thought behind it is it's based on the Testament of the New Testament. I can't remember who wrote it. It's not Matthew. Something like that. But they basically explain that Jesus did this on purpose. This was part of his divine plan. He wanted Judas to betray him because to be good, you have to have bad. You have to have evil. So the point of it was, these 30 coins, Judas betrayed Jesus. But now there is like this cult, like this biblical lore. Yeah, dude, it's deep. Blanco, it's Blanco, it's deep. And there's basically like these demonic people or whatever. They're trying to collect all 30 silver coins, because basically the 30 coins are the equivalent of like the Ark of the Covenant. It's like the evil version, an evil weapon.
Right. Anything that divinity has touched,
yes,
has power.
Yep.
So like the crown, the nails and the crucifix.
Yep, and the cross
or the spear.
Yes, all that stuff has
shit.
some kind of power to it.
Like this latent or not.
And
latent,
where
power.
the Ark of the Covenant is like the powerful weapon for the good. The silver coins are the powerful weapon for the evil. And there's people trying to collect all 30 of them. Once they get them all, they'll have that power. And what this is like this priest in this town. He performed an exorcist. Somebody died, and so he's been basically shoved off this town. This is his punishment for his failed exorcism. He's got a real checkered past. You don't know what to make of him just yet.
Yeah.
And you guys, it's really hard to explain. Like, I really just want everyone to watch it. Again, if you have to be able to tolerate subtitles. I know some people don't like that, and I get it. But the story is really good. It's gripping. and there is some seriously fucked up imagery in this show.
And uncomfortable moments, uneasy, like for the most part, like when they come at the right time, because the thing, like you'll be watching an episode and it might be a little bit of a slow burn, but it's a good kind of slow burn.
Yep,
like
it's
you'll get
up.
some backstory sometimes, like the coin, like the priest Father Vergara is tied to the coins because of his first exorcism.
Yep.
When he performed the exorcism, he was possessed because the exorcist. I don't recall if he had the coin or when he was exercising, one of the coins came out.
Yep. Yeah, the coin came out of the
like
the
he was
kid's
able to
arm.
almost like call upon it or something, like bring it out. Like I don't know how that linked like that. I guess I don't really recall.
It's just
but Jesus, it's
and
Jesus.
it's just got so many like different threads and character developments and all sorts of different arcs that they're exploring. And every episode, especially the 4th episode, they really dive into Father Vergara's background,
which is fucking dope.
Which you really need, because it really gives him some depth that he needs and kind of gives you a better idea of where he's coming from. And like I said, the 4th episode is just absolutely fucking bonkers, dude. Random useless knowledge because of those silver coins. That is why a lot of paranormal characters can't touch silver. Look at that. Cherry Squishy coming in with knowledge.
That's pretty fucking gnarly to know.
And yeah, I wouldn't touch a silver coin after seeing this show. I don't want anything to do with silver coins. I mean, it's just
right.
You guys, it's wild. This show is incredibly underrated right now. I don't think it's getting the recognition it deserves. It's incredibly eerie. The imagery is really tough. Now, here's the thing. Now, it's obviously it's created over in Spain. There's certain, if you're used to a certain polish when it comes to special effects or a certain type of production value from horror over here,
frame rate.
Yeah, like just the way it's shot. Some of the scenes, especially when the special effects kick in, they might seem a little, I don't want to say goofy, just not quite up to what you're expecting, but they're no less effective if you can appreciate what they're trying to do, what the story they're trying to tell. Yeah, it's not campy, but it is really really hard imagery at times. You're just like, man, that is really hard to watch. That is really horrific. But if it took place now, Judas would have been paid in Venmo. There you go, Cuddles. Yes, Judas would have paid in Venmo. But overall, I mean, 4 episodes in. There's supposed to be 8 episodes total, so we're halfway through. It releases on Monday nights. I like where this conversation is going. Yeah, it takes place on Monday nights, 9 p.m. It'll be available on HBO Max. It's you guys, it's worth a watch.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the intro to it alone.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah,
the intro is fucked up. Like you can tell it's like European because we get like HBO is pretty liberal on a lot of their intros and certain things. Mm-hmm. The intro to this is pretty fucking gratuitous.
Yeah,
like
gratuitous.
They literally show Jesus getting crucified and like Judas hanging himself and shit like that.
Yeah,
and like it's pretty fucking
you
gnarly.
can tell they do things differently over there. It's just it's a different type of production.
Right.
So when the special effects kick in, at first you're gonna be like, well, that doesn't look like CGI, because a lot of it is practical. There is a lot of practical effects in here.
It is
a lot of like very gratuitous makeup and stuff, but overall it's pretty rad. Like it's like the story is gripping, and it is a creepy ass story.
Like I watched episode 1 and I was like, oh, I was already I was completely hooked.
Oh yeah, dude. It's when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
Yep.
Yeah, this is on HBO Max. It's called 30 Coins. The first 4 episodes are out right now. Every new episodes drop on Monday night around 9 p.m. I think it's kind of like Game of Thrones. They drop at 9 p.m. That's when it'll be available. If you guys or girls get a chance, please check it out. It is hell. There you go. Cuddles got it right there.
Check out that trailer.
Yeah, watch the trailer. It's a wild show, you guys. It's fucking sweet. I'm a big fan of it. Hopefully they can stick the landing. Like I said, they're at that 4th episode. They're committed to this story. They're digging deep into the lore, and it is it's getting wild. Like it's at the end of the episode, I was like, holy shit, dude, this is getting crazy. It's horror.
Right.
It's got supernatural elements. It's actually I feel like it's kind of got like daytime soap opera drama between some of the characters.
Interestingly enough, it actually really does have that like that drama.
Yeah, it's got all sorts of drama. It's pretty good.
But it works.
It works, and it works really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of it so far. And like I said, 4 episodes left. Hopefully you can stick the landing. But all in all, this is an underrated, unexpected gem of a show, and again, it doesn't surprise me that it's on HBO.
Right, and it's needed because I'm waiting on Ozarks or something coming up. Where are you at, Ozark?
Is there another Ozark coming up?
There's got to be another season soon. I know Melissa's a fan.
Yeah, that shit probably ain't coming out till next year, bro.
It probably really isn't.
Probably not coming out till next year. But do you want to touch on wrestling news really quick?
I do really quick, actually.
Please do.
So this last weekend, we had a historic moment.
Yes.
AEW and Impact Wrestling have been kind of erasing their borders at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. We got to witness Kenny Omega, the AEW champion, take on Rich Swann, the Impact champion, and they both had some cronies with them. A big part for the AEW side was the Good Brothers, who are signed with Impact, are also part of the original Bullet Club with Kenny Omega from New Japan. That was his boys. He had them behind him, etc., etc. That was pretty awesome. That was the main event. It was a big match. But what was great is that, of course, our friends, as always, Rohit Raju and Cousin Jake, a.k.a. Jake Something, had matches on the card as well, too. Jake Something, of course, looked awesome. He just keeps getting... he needs more Impact.
Yep, he needs more.
He needs more.
Do better.
And let's get him more, please.
Do
he needs
better.
More. Yeah, because he needs it. He deserves it, and he's amazing. He works so hard and looks so good. And the moments with him and Cody Deaner were great.
Yeah.
The rest of the people involved in that, like I like Eric Young.
What about Rhino, man?
It's harder for me to be invested in guys that have been there for a while.
Oh, okay.
When you need to be focusing on these guys like
the
Cody,
new young blood. Yeah.
Right. And Eric Young still like he's a little more cerebral. But Rohit had a great match as well that night. X Division champ, former, but we're gonna get that back soon. Him, Chris Bay, TJP, he unmasked him. It was a great match. It was a fun pay-per-view to watch.
Phenomenal match.
It was a fantastic match. Matter of fact, What Culture and other places and dirt sheets were calling that like one of the top 2 matches in some of the spots I've seen. Like that, if that top card wasn't such a big deal, that would have been match of the night. It was amazing to watch these guys wrestle and wrestle well. Everything they did was fantastic. So I'm really excited for them. Rohit did not get the belt back, but we are still feuding with TJP, aka Manic, whatever. Soon. So that was really about far as that. It was a good time, and make sure to tune in every Tuesday night to watch these guys work. Rohit had a pretty sweet promo last night as well too,
and
then I think in a week or so he's going to be wrestling again and hopefully going after that belt. But Scott D'Amore is doing bits as per usual. Ozark is returning to Netflix for season 4, Supersize final season.
Ooh,
did they give us a date on that, King Cuddles? By chance?
Man, I gotta believe that some of these days gotta be pushed back so much.
Ozark is very much like a Breaking Bad, just maybe not on the level of Breaking Bad, but it's got potential to be. I mean, the comparisons are fair, but we talk about it once in a while on here. You really got it sometime. Okay, so there we go. Last year it came out like early or late winter, early spring or something.
It was, I think it was like springtime.
Yeah, Ozark's really fucking good. But other than that, yes, I just want to touch a little bit on that for the wrestling for our friends and how exciting that has been. And lastly, if you guys haven't seen, if you guys are subs here, which we super appreciate, have you had a chance maybe hit that Discord? If you guys aren't in the Discord yet,
get in there.
Don't forget to get in the Discord. Do we have that link up there? You got that link right there?
It's right there.
Perfect.
Yep,
there's the link right there. Jump to the Discord, hang out with us all day, all night, party with us, joke around with us. We've got Cherry Squishy and El Blanco who are fighting for MAME supremacy right now in the Discord. It is
they're
pretty
working hard.
They are working overtime
really
on it. Discord's been a lot more active recently. We really appreciate all that. We love hanging out when we are able to, even though with work it's hard to sometimes, but we love goofing around and you guys being in there and being part of that. So thank you so much for that.
And again, if you ever want to chime in, like we'll be hitting up the subs specifically in the Discord.
Perfect.
If you ever want to chime in or call in, that's still going. That feature is still up. We reached out, see if anyone wanted to chime in on some of the stuff. We didn't hear back from anybody, so just figured it was a busy week. But honestly, we would love to get you guys or girls in for a call in for the show. That's an ongoing thing. So we're going to keep reaching out in the chat before every show to see if anyone wants to chime in on any of the topics. We want to hear from you. We want to do that call. And Tricky Region killed it the first time he was in there. See, 6-piece dog, he wants to be in. Didn't know indeed. Hey, like I said, Panic. Anytime, if the show is running, if you think you're going to want to comment on anything that we're going to be talking about, we'll always have the list of topics in the subscription chat. We want to hear from you guys and girls. We want to hear from you. We want to do a call in. I will call and replace Tone for an episode.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
Cuddles. Let's go.
Fucking hell. Yeah, so if you guys are in the Discord and our subs, we've linked everything up. Let us know if you can't see the sub chat. If you are a sub, find out so that way we can make sure we're tagging you. But that was the whole point. He was perfect on that. I just wanted to bring that up, is that if you're in the Discord, you're a sub. That's the best way to communicate with us and get on the show at some point to, chat with us, your thoughts on stuff as well, too.
And lastly, talk about it? I think we should talk about it.
Talk about it?
I think we should bring it up.
All right.
So, one of the things that we have been talking about for the last couple months is the frequency at which Banter and Babble airs. Right now, we're a bi-weekly show. Obviously, going forward, we're all about trying things in phases, doing things, trying them out, seeing how they work. Beginning in February. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be the first week. I got to still talk to you about that. It might be the second week, but beginning the second week, we're going to attempt to take this show weekly, not daily, Cuddles. Not, oh my God, you're pregnant. No. And if we're pregnant, we're going to have problems. I'm going to have Melissa stand by the steps because that ain't happening. I ain't do that. But anyways, that's a joke, by the way. I know, it's a joke. Oh my God. Anyways.
Wow.
We are considering going weekly every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. That is the plan right now. If it's not the first week of February, it could be the first week of February. We'll let you know. Obviously, the first week of February is when our next show will be. I believe that is because next week is
Bro, I can't count. You know
I
that.
know you can't count. But as of right now, sometime in February, whether it's the first week, whatever, we're going to go weekly with Banter and Babble and see how that works out. Hopefully it works out for all of you. Because we're finding out that there's a lot more stuff coming out. There's gonna be more games coming out. There's gonna be more shows coming up. There's gonna be more. Once this, like with HBO, I mean, shit, we got that
Netflix.
We got that show on HBO, the Denzel Washington movie coming out next week.
Oh shit!
Denzel, Jared Leto, and that Malik kid from
Remy
Malik.
Yeah, dude.
That comes out next Friday.
Dude.
So we're gonna have a lot more to talk about now that these movies are gonna start dropping. These TV shows are gonna start coming out, and it's gonna be really difficult to cover everything every 2 weeks because that show would be 4 hours long. So we're looking at going every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll still talk about everything, but yeah, we do. You could alternate B&B plays in a call-in show, review shows, plenty of content. I mean, we're not against any suggestions.
Right.
B&B plays is still a huge part of what we do here because it gives us an opportunity to play games with you guys and girls, and it's just a lot of fucking fun. So that's why, if we do B&B, we'll kind of look at things, we might do B&B plays on a different night, or maybe if we're looking at the release schedule of shows and movies, like, hey, look, there's not a whole lot going on this weekend,
right,
or this week leading up to maybe next Wednesday we can do a B&B plays. If not, maybe we can move B&B plays to another night. We're looking at everything, but as of right now, the main thing is we want to get B&B plays out there weekly because a lot of you support us, and we want to make sure that we're doing the most we can. Like I said, before the year ended, we told you guys and girls, we're not going to get complacent. We're going to do what we can to make this a show that you never want to miss, that you'll always want to be a part of, that you always want to interact with, that you can come to, share your opinions, have a good time, get drunk with us. And if you guys and girls enjoy it that much, we're going to go weekly with it. That's just how we are. That's just what we want to do. We have fun doing this, and waiting 2 weeks with a lot more content coming up, it's going to make it really difficult to cram everything into one show. So weekly makes sense. So that's what we're going to be looking at in February and take it from there, I think.
Yeah. And again, kind of just to shadow what you said, like, we're just going to play around with it. Yep. Like, if we're going to consider, clearly we do usually alternating B&B plays. We're going to, see what we can do, maybe go with this for a while, and then say, hey, this date or whatever looks better for B&B plays. Won't be a lot of content to talk to.
Right.
And who knows, we'll do a B&B plays, and who knows, maybe the content will be good enough we go for that for a while. But at this point, we figure we kind of plan for that and then just see how everything sticks. And maybe we open up, B&B plays on just random days that I have off. I was telling dude beforehand, maybe on a Sunday sometime, even evening or even a midday, if I've got nothing going on, maybe, hey, noon o'clock, let's all meet up and do B&B plays and play Paladins or something.
Sure.
So we want to try and focus more and more content with Banter and Babble. We want to continue to have you guys included, and definitely the first lead is a proper episode like this. So that's our first step into that direction, is to go weekly with this.
Can we delete Among Us yet? No, Cuddles. No, Cuddles. You cannot. Because you're an important part of the Among Us game nights. And we look forward to you being there every single time we play that fucking game.
Yeah, I'm dying.
Yes, and dying. After I die, of course. I die first, and then you die. It's just the way it is.
It's true.
So, but yeah, that's the next big thing is we want to go weekly. And again, every week, if you want to be a part of the conversation, if you want to call in and share your opinion, bullshit, I quit. Damn, Cuddles.
Damn.
Harsh. But no, seriously, you guys and girls are the reason we do this. And if if making the show weekly and getting more people involved with the call-in feature is what will make it exciting for always kill dude first. Thank you, White Wolf. I appreciate that, buddy. We're gonna keep on trucking with that one. That's gonna be the main theme. But seriously, you guys and girls are the reason we do this, and we want to make this as fun for you. We want to get you all involved, and it means the world to us to have you guys here every week. And yeah, we're gonna keep doing what we got to do to keep the content flowing.
Yeah, that's it.
Fuck yeah, sweet.
That's more or less it.
So that's gonna do it for this evening's show. If possible, when this video pops up on YouTube or the podcast pops up on iTunes, SoundCloud, or not SoundCloud, Spotify, wherever, share it with your friends and family, will you? Let them know. If you have any nerdy-ass friends that love the shit that you love, that love the shit that we love, and I'm not talking about the shit that is created by eating sugarless jelly beans. I'm talking about this shit right here.
Not that shit.
Share it with your friends, will you? Let them know. Get them in here. The more the merrier. We love having you guys and girls in here. Fanboytone. I'm the Dude79. Thank you so much for watching. See you in 2 weeks. Good night, everybody.